Have you ever heard of Kundalini awakening? Maybe you've seen it described as a blissful, euphoric experience, a sudden rush of cosmic energy that catapults you into enlightenment. It's often painted as this beautiful, almost magical event. But what if I told you there's another side to it? A side that's not so glamorous, a side that can feel like absolute chaos. Today, we're diving into the dark side of Kundalini awakening, or what's sometimes called the dark night of the soul on steroids. First, let's be clear about what Kundalini is. In yogic traditions, it's described as a dormant, coiled energy at the base of your spine. When it awakens, it travels up through your energy centers or chakras, clearing blockages and leading to profound spiritual growth. Sounds great, right? And for some, it is. But for many, the process is anything but gentle. Imagine trying to force a high-pressure fire hose through a rusty, clogged-up garden pipe. That's what a premature or forceful Kundalini awakening can feel like. The energy is powerful, but your system, your body, your mind, your emotions isn't ready for it. The result isn't a gentle stream, it's an explosion. So what does this dark side actually look like? Physically, it can be intense. People report experiencing uncontrollable shaking, spasms, and tremors. You might feel strange sensations of heat or electricity running through your body, almost like you've been plugged into a socket. Some experience intense pain, chronic fatigue, or digestive issues that doctors can't explain. It can feel like your body is at war with itself, leaving you exhausted and confused. You might have insomnia for days on end, or the opposite, an overwhelming need to sleep constantly. It's not just a little discomfort. It can be physically debilitating. Then there's the emotional and mental upheaval. This is where it gets really tough for many people. A Kundalini awakening dredges up everything you've ever suppressed. Every old trauma, every fear, every insecurity you've buried deep down comes rushing to the surface. It's like a lifetime of therapy crammed into a few weeks or months. You might experience extreme mood swings. One moment you feel ecstatic, the next you're plunged into a deep, dark depression. Anxiety and panic attacks can become a daily occurrence. You might feel a profound sense of loneliness and alienation, like no one on earth could possibly understand what you're going through. This can lead to paranoid thoughts or feeling of losing your mind. It's a complete dismantling of your old identity, your ego. And while that's necessary for growth, the process itself can be terrifying. You're losing the person you thought you were, and you have no idea who you're becoming. On a psychic or energetic level, things can get even weirder. Your senses might become hyperacute. Lights seem brighter, sounds are louder, and you might feel overwhelmed by the energy of people and places. Some people start having vivid, intense dreams or nightmares. Others report out-of-body experiences, hearing voices, or seeing things that aren't there. Your intuition might go into overdrive, but it's so chaotic that you can't distinguish between genuine insight and fear-based delusion. You're suddenly tuned into a whole new frequency, but you haven't learned how to use the radio yet. It's all static and noise, and it can be incredibly disorienting and frightening. So why does this happen? Why isn't it always the blissful experience we read about? A big reason is unpreparedness. In traditional Eastern practices, Kundalini was never something to be chased. It was a natural unfolding that happened after years, sometimes decades, of dedicated spiritual practice, purification, and guidance from a master. These practices, like yoga, meditation, and clean living, prepare the body and mind, the pipes, to handle the intense flow of energy. But in the modern world, we want everything now. People try aggressive breathing techniques, intense workshops, or even use substances to force an awakening without having done the foundational work. This is like trying to run a marathon without any training. You're setting yourself up for injury, or in this case, a spiritual crisis. The energy awakens, but the system short circuits. Another key factor is unresolved trauma. The Kundalini energy is a purifying force. Its job is to clear out blockages in your system. And what are the biggest blockages? Unprocessed emotional pain and trauma. When the energy hits these dense spots, it has to work hard to break them up. This process is what brings all that darkness to the surface. It's not creating the pain. It's revealing what was already there, hidden in your subconscious. It's a deep, radical healing process, but healing often hurts before it feels better. It's forcing you to finally face the demons you've been running from your whole life. So if you're experiencing this, what can you do? First and foremost, grounding is your best friend. The energy is pulling you up and out. You need to anchor yourself back to the earth. Walk barefoot on the grass, spend time in nature. Eat warm, nourishing, heavy foods like root vegetables and whole grains. Reduce your meditation or spiritual practices if they feel too intense. The goal is not to amplify the energy, but to stabilize it. Physical activity like gentle walking or stretching can also help move the stagnant energy through your body in a less chaotic way. It's also crucial to find support, but the right kind of support. Most Western doctors or therapists won't understand what you are talking about and might misdiagnose you with a psychological disorder. While it's vital to rule out any underlying medical conditions, you also need someone who understands the spiritual and energetic dimensions of what's happening. Look for experienced spiritual teachers, somatic therapists, or energy healers who have a grounded, practical approach to Kundalini and spiritual emergencies. Knowing you're not alone and not going crazy is half the battle. Remember, if you are struggling with severe depression or thoughts of self-harm, it is essential to reach out to a crisis hotline or a mental health professional immediately. There is help available, and you don't have to go through this alone. And finally, practice radical self-compassion. Understand that this is a profound and challenging process of rebirth. You are shedding old skin and it's uncomfortable. Be gentle with yourself, rest when you need to rest, cry when you need to cry. Let go of the need to understand or control it all. Surrender is a key theme here. The ego wants to fight and figure it out, but the soul asks you to trust the process, even when it's dark and scary. This isn't a punishment. It's a purification. The chaos is a sign that deep healing is happening. The storm is clearing the way for a brighter, more authentic you to emerge. The path of Kundalini awakening is not for the faint of heart. It will challenge you on every level. But the darkness is not the destination, it's part of the journey. By navigating it with awareness, grounding, support, and self-love, you can move through the chaos and into the profound peace, clarity, and connection that lies on the other side. It's a transformation from the inside out, and like any birth, it can be messy and painful, but it ultimately leads to new life. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, or if you had similar experiences, please share your story in the comments below. It helps us all feel a little less alone on this wild journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the spiritual path. Stay grounded and be kind to yourself.